get into a Tottenham update, the last 24 hours of Tottenham news. And we're going to start off talking about the medical team because...
What medical team?
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's been a post from Romero at the end of the game yesterday. And he says, after a difficult period and full of things that happened in the middle, I am back with the group and happy to be able to help the team. Surely there is a lot to correct and work on. We are together and eager to reverse the situation. See you on Thursday. We'll come back stronger than ever. All together, Spurs official. And then at the end of it, he says, I'm grateful to the physios of Argentina for getting me out of a bad time and putting me back on the court where I'm happy. Thank you all for the support as always. Which I thought was strange. And I was like, where's the thanks to the Spurs medical team?
Yeah.
And then there's been a report coming out of Brazil this morning saying that Tottenham star Richarlison is the latest player decided to seek medical advice away from the football club on his injury status. Richarlison is understood to be speaking to a consultant in Brazil for help. And that follows on that we heard about Van de Ven seeking outside kind of advice in Spain as well. Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, what is this medical staff being paid for? It's an absolute shambles at this football club.
Every single player seems to need to go to get outside help to help with their injuries.
It's madness.
And like how we should be, obviously we're a $1 billion football club. We should be investing, I'm sure we do invest millions and millions and millions of dollars into our medical department, and yet we're not equipped to handle these players when they've got certain injury problems in certain situations. They feel like they're forced to go externally and go to see other doctors in other countries. And I understand, maybe like Van de Ven, maybe that's a very specific issue, and maybe that needs a specialist, which we for some reason don't have. But when it's happening more often than not, it's almost like when your school's not teaching you enough and you need a home tutor. You know what I mean? It's like, how can we not be able to handle these situations within our own medical department with the amount of money we invest? It's seriously concerning, and this is what we talk about when a lot of people complain about the medical department. A lot of people say there's problems there. Well, I think it's there for all to see. These players don't seem to trust this medical department, and they keep seeking external support. And again, like, where's all this money going to that they invest in it if it's not able to help our own players?
It's actually embarrassing. I've never actually heard of a Premier League team with such bad medical staff. And you're thinking about a club with these facilities that we've got, with the training ground, with the stadium, with all the infrastructure they're building around the stadium. And it's pretty much similar, maybe not to the same extent, but with what's happening on the pitch, it's happening with the staff off the pitch as well. And it's just like, can you not get the best in class like you do with all the facilities that you have? If you have the best facilities, you've got to fill it with the best staff to run the facilities. It's madness.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that these players feel the need to do this, to be honest. And I feel bad. I feel bad for the players if they feel like these medical staff is incompetent. I also feel bad for the coaching staff if they feel like they don't have adequate medical care for a lot of these players and they keep getting injured. There's big problems here. I know we've said they've applied, they've opened the door for a new head of medical and all this kind of stuff. So maybe it'll change in time. But right now it seems as though none of these players they don't think they're fit for purpose.
And you know what as well, like, Mourinho's came out and said stuff about the medical team. Conte obviously was saying stuff about the medical team as well. But if I'm right, the medical team has been changed, like, after all these managers.
Yeah.
So, everyone that they hire seems to be getting worse and worse and worse.
It's ridiculous. Sort your medical team out, Tottenham. It's not hard. I don't know how hard it is, but it might be hard, but just sort it out.
Next up, we're going to talk about 3 potential transfers. One from a publication, the ever-reliable Team Talk. And they say Chelsea have now joined Tottenham in the race for Feyenoord centre-back David Hanko this summer. Good ball-playing centre-back, can play at left-back as well if need be. And these are the kind of players that we've been calling for, not in terms of him specifically, but a player in that position that can provide a left centre back and also at left back.
Yeah, we were linked to them in January as well. I kind of feel like we won't go for him now because we got Danso. So I feel like we'll probably go for someone else rather than him. But he's definitely one that kind of fits the profile. I really like the look of him.
But Danso's not a natural left-sided centre-back.
I know, but I think if we're going to... I feel like if we're going to sign another centre-back, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be Hanko, especially... I'm saying my thinking is if, like, Romero leaves, I don't know if, like, if we sign someone like Hanko, I think we'll probably go for someone else, potentially. But I think he would have been in, like, that kind of Danso role in a sense of a cheaper centre-back who's potentially... could play second fiddle to Romero and Van der Ven, but also good enough to step in, that kind of role. I feel like if we sell Romero, I'm going to get another one. We'll probably spend maybe a bit more money potentially. I'm feeling.
I don't know. Like he'll still cost kind of like a significant fee, Hanko.
Really? Isn't he like 28? I don't know how much he's going to cost.
He's 27.
27.
His market value here on the transfer market is 35 million euros. So you're thinking probably 40 million or something euros.
Yeah, potentially. I guess it is fairly significant. I guess. Similar to what we paid, I guess, for Dragashin.
Yeah, we forget we have Dragashin.
Yeah,
he's out for so long now. But I mean, whenever we talk about the centre back options, obviously he's not an option right now. But I'm talking about in the future.
I know, but it's enough. We've got to wait a year for that to be.
Yeah.
Pretty much near the end of next. We're probably not going to see him until
probably
the
January
end of next
time.
Could be, as in at his best though. Could potentially be the end of next season. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Court Offside are claiming that Tottenham are set to make a bid of around £35 million for Antoine Semenyo. I mean, £35 million won't you get you his right leg?
Yeah, I don't think enough to get Semenyo out of Bournemouth. He's a really good player. I like Semenyo. Fits in Bournemouth like a glove the way he plays. So good at taking people on. Real good striker of the ball as well. I would like him at Tottenham. I think would be a perfect kind of versatile kind of forward. I just don't see us paying the money potentially.
And last but not least, Caught Offside also claiming that Jonathan David is keen on a move to England this summer when his contract ends at Lille, with Man United, Tottenham, Chelsea and Newcastle all vying for his signature. In terms of those clubs, Man United, Tottenham, Chelsea and Newcastle, you'd probably say what? We're third on the pecking order there? Particularly if Isaac leaves Newcastle.
If Isaac leaves, yeah. I think I think for sure he'd be up there because I think he's actually quite a similar kind of striker to Isaac. Man United, he could definitely be number one striker there with the strikers they've got. Chelsea battling out with Jackson. Obviously, Nkunku could leave. And then there's us. We've got Solanke.
I reckon Jackson will probably start off as number one striker, but I think David by the end of the season, or maybe even halfway through, will probably be over him.
Yeah, potentially. So, yeah, I don't know who or which one he would prefer to go to. Obviously, we potentially won't have European football. A lot could depend on, let's say Man United aren't in Europe and we are. I think then he probably would rather come to us potentially.
I think he picks Chelsea or Newcastle over us.
I don't know about Newcastle. I think because London's still a big pool. But I think Chelsea.
Yeah, but you know those nights out in Newcastle on the time.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that'll convince him. I think we would be above Newcastle. I think Chelsea. Yeah,
I don't
Chelsea.
think we would be above Newcastle.
I think we would.
Particularly like with maybe the wages that they'll offer him with Isaac potentially going. Like let's say Liverpool sign Isaac for 120 million or whatever it may be.
Well, we can't assume now. If we have to assume right now that Isaac's staying.
Well, I mean, with his comments a few weeks ago, it just seemed like he wants out.
Yeah, but we don't. It's going to take a lot of money. We don't know if anyone's going to stump it up. Like if he's going to stay in Newcastle, I think we're still a better choice for him. I think.
I mean, I reckon Liverpool could do it. I mean, they put in a monstrous bid for Caicedo not long ago.
I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm just saying we have to assume right now that he's staying in Newcastle.
Okay. But yeah, that's Jonathan David. Spurs going to be interested in, but we'll see what happens there. But that is your Tottenham update. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Would you like to see David Semenyo or David Hanko at the club? And let's finish off on